All right, we're going to talk about how the Trump administration cuts clause from federal contracting rules that have been in place since the 1960s, meaning companies are no longer explicitly prohibited from having segregated facilities. I have been quiet on this app for the last 2 days because I was just watching and seeing what people were posting. And what I don't like about my black people, specifically the younger generations, I don't know how y'all think that's funny. Like, I get it. The older I am, the more I'm like, we should have went the Malcolm X way than the Martin Luther King. But I feel like there was room for both of them, essentially. But we really should have been on our Malcolm X a little bit more. Actually, a lot more, if we're being fucking honest. Just compared to like everything that they're fucking doing, everything that our ancestors fought for, how they're repealing it, and so forth and so forth. Um, but I don't, I'm seeing people saying, oh, segregation was actually better for us. Well, when you look at it collectively, it kind of was, because we were forced to patronize one another. We were forced to build up our education system, the healthcare system, everything like that. Our towns were thriving, successful, booming. That is why they targeted, these wealthy towns, and rerouted railroads, so they would have less foot traffic in those towns. They drowned out towns. They burned towns. Did massive shootings, with these towns, unalive people, lynched people, all of that. But don't think for a second that there's not a bigger, more egregious plan that these mega and white folks, racist white folks, and white folks aren't the only racist people too, by the way. Don't think that there's not a bigger and brighter plan. I don't know with y'all, it kind of went over some of y'all heads. Some of y'all have commented on it when Trump was talking about during the presidential election, talking about, like the Latinos, they taking the black jobs. And I'm like, the jobs that they do and nobody wants to do them, like the farming, nobody wants to be doing the janitorial work, they be doing construction work. No, but construction is that there's different levels to construction. Okay. So, that I'm like, but they be doing like the hard labor and work and stuff like that. Shout out to my Latinos and Hispanics and things like that. They've always been kind to me, always been nice to me. Some of the most loyal people, at least that's my personal experience. And, however, I'm looking at that statement. I'm like, then y'all cutting programs that is preventing our children from getting scholarships and grants. You're messing with the HBCUs. You are making it kind of legal for these colleges to discriminate against people of color, to get admission into these colleges. You're cutting the Department of Education. You're cutting, these food programs in these schools, these public schools. You're allowing teaching to be within up to the parents' rights and everything like that, which I get it. But shit, if we're not on some Black Panther stuff, how they had their food program, how they had the education on lock, they had the healthcare on lock, then that's not a good thing, guys. It's not a good thing. And then on top of that too, if you think they're doing that, if they uplifted that now, what the fuck do you think they're gonna do? What do you think the end goal is? My black ass is not about to be on no damn field picking no cotton. I'm not going to be on some Martin Luther King stuff. I'm just not. So it's all he, funny, until you start realizing this motherfucker has cut so many rights that are in programs, so many laws that our ancestors have fought against. When I talk about ancestors, I'm specifically talking about Black people, but also melanated people in general. All of our ancestors have fought for our rights. But y'all think it's all fun and games? I don't think that's just fun and games, because I'm looking at the long run. Y'all thinking about the short run, talking about, oh, it's going to be great. Yeah, it's going to be great, but guess what? Those segregated towns, where are they at now? Burned to smithereens and underwater. If y'all not going to learn anything, history repeats itself. If y'all not going to learn, just know we need to be 10 times, maybe 1,000 times as better than our ancestors. First of all, they shouldn't even got to this point when it comes to repealing all this stuff. First of all. So I don't know what we need to do collectively, but as I mentioned to you guys before, get strapped up, get a gun, learn how to defend yourself, and learn how to farm, learn how to do basic things that, people don't know how to do. Even get into archery. I was just talking to my friend the other day. I was like, I want to get into archery. I'm not playing with y'all. Because tell me this. Let's just say, as crazy as this administration is, what if they fucking say slavery? What if he signed some order today, and all black people is not considered citizens no more? What the fuck are we gonna do? All melanated people ain't citizens no more. I think it's fucking scary how he's getting all the Latinos and Hispanics out of the U.S. What do you think they're gonna do? They know us minorities over time, even though there is racism within the minority groups, that they have to separate us. Because if we all come together, they are not a force with us together. And let's be real, the Latinos and Hispanic population is overthrowing blacks and whites, okay, Asians too. If he gets the majority of them out, who the hell gonna help us? Who's gonna help us? If he's alienated all these other countries, who the fuck is going to help us? See, y'all play too much. There's a more sinister agenda than y'all realizing. When I talk to the older generations, they see it. Millennials and younger, we need to have a plan because it's coming.